Okay, good evening YouTube. Welcome to my second installment of Weapon of Mass Instruction. Last time I went through a quick introduction, a little bit about me. I wanted to ask some questions from you, see if you wanted to comment about things that you wanted to add to the show in future installments if everything works out well. Tonight I will be going over the first step of basics of shooting with a pistol, or self-loading pistol specifically. Alright, so first off I'm going to clear my firearm. Alright, make sure that there's no source of ammunition in it. Alright, and now it's clear. And always make sure that if you're practicing with a firearm in the home or any other place other than the range, that you clear it first before you do anything else, because the last thing you want to do is put a hole in your HD TV or your mirror or yourself, God forbid. Alright, so basically, the name of this course is Population Control 101. No, I'm just kidding. Quick disclaimer, this is for people who want to effectively defend themselves and their home. If you conceal carry, or if you open carry, if you're a cop, if you're in the military, but maybe range time just is a little bit tough right now or something like that. Alright, any of those situations, if you're just a homeowner, the guy wants to defend his family from any home invader, okay? This is not how to effectively enter a school or other institution and blow people up. Alright, that's not what it's about. Somebody actually brought that up to me today, and that's a good point. People could use it for that, but that's not what it's for. So if you go and do something like that, don't freaking mention me. Alright, so what I did was I cleared my firearm. I emptied out one of the magazines because what I'm using today is a Bursa Thunder 380cc model. And the nifty thing about this is the little pocket rocket. You can stuff it in your pocket and it can go anywhere with you. The downside is the gun itself, the grip is too small to effectively fit your hand onto it comfortably. Alright, so I'm going to pop an empty magazine in here. That'll stay in there the whole time basically, and that will allow me to put my pinky in there. Alright, your pinky finger is not necessary to a good firm grip, but it is pretty helpful and nice and comfortable if you can fit it on there. Alright, so first step, your first fundamental is your grip on the firearm. Alright, your handhold, your stance, and your body position. Okay, that all goes under one heading I like to call your stance. Alright, so here's what you want to do. First we're going to talk about your grip on the gun. Alright, make an L shape with your hand, or a V shape, whatever you want to call it. You see that webbing right there between your thumb and your forefinger? That's going to go right up here on the back strap, okay? So your hand is going to go high and firm right underneath that. Alright, just like that. I'm a lefty, but if you're a righty, just do the opposite. Flip the camera around, whatever. So that's your good grip on the gun. See that? Alright, you don't need to throttle with your left hand. Alright, basically you don't want to be shaken as you're holding onto the gun. You don't want that to happen. Your shooting hand should only be tight enough to hold onto the gun without it falling out of your grip. Okay? Now your offhand is going to go heel on heel with your shooting hand, just like this. Alright? Heel on heel, wrap your fingers around, alright, and you should see that your first knuckles on your offhand are going to overlap on your second knuckles of your shooting hand. Alright, just like that. So you've got your fingers on one side, palm on the other, and with your offhand you're going to squeeze tight towards the center. Okay, put equal pressure into the gun. Don't push and pull, because that'll throw your shots off if you're not careful. Squeeze towards the center, and that tightness with your offhand is what keeps the gun in your hands, absorbs the recoil while you're shooting. Alright, so we're going to extend from there, from your hand to your arm. Keep your wrist locked tight, as well as your elbow. Alright, so you'll see right here, alright, I'm not bending my elbow, I'm not limp wristing it, I'm going to lock it all tight. Okay, this is especially good for beginners. Alright, if you're a beginner, you're probably not used to the recoil of a firearm, much less a pistol. Alright, and this will allow you to absorb that recoil, transfer it to the rest of your body, and be able to deal with it a lot easier. You don't have to lock out your offhand, okay? If you do that, that's really only for your isosceles stance, which I'll go through in a second. But basically, it's okay to have your offhand bent a little bit, but lock out your shooting hand just like this, alright? Alright, now you don't want to keep your arms down and bring your head down to the gun. It's going to be arms up to the gun, or the gun up to eye level, alright, just like that. Alright, so that's your hand and your arm, your position. Alright, one thing I almost forgot to cover is your thumbs. With a revolver, it doesn't matter where the hell you put your thumbs. You can put them back there, all right, it doesn't matter. All right, with a self-loading pistol, this little piece up top is called the slide. Every time you fire, it will do this, all right, and it's going to come back, and then it's going to go forward, and that's what reloads your gun, and it gets rid of the empty brass from that last shot, all right, and it will come back every single time, whether you like it to or not, and it's going to have a sharp edge right back here, okay, very easy to cut yourself. Ooh, I got to clean this thing. So you want to be careful of that sharp edge. Your thumbs need to go one on top of the other, like this, all right, don't cross them over, all right, like that or like that. If you cross it over like this, that's going to be leading to you crossing your thumb over the back, and you'll cut yourself, all right. I have a lot of people at the range try to do that with big guns like the Desert Eagle, and I so want to let them just cut their own thumb off, and they would be great, but I have to stop them before they shoot. Anyway, thumb on thumb just like this, all right. You don't want to cross over like this, because with your non-shooting hand, if the shit hits the fan and you got to shoot at a bad guy, you unload all 7 of your rounds, or how many you got, all right, and you have to reload. Now the adrenaline is pumping. Maybe you just took a guy down, another guy pops up. You got to reload before you shoot, or something like that. Okay. If you try to take your offhand away, your shooting hand is going to be clenched, and you're not going to be able to do it. You lose all your fine motor skills. All right. So you go thumb on thumb. Keep this habit up of not crossing over either direction. Keep this habit up, which allows you to take your non-shooting hand away from the gun whenever you want to. You can load up a fresh magazine and rack, and you're good. All right. Back to the empty. Nothing in the chamber. All right. So that's the thing with your thumbs. All right. So to recap, keep everything locked tight. Don't throttle the gun. Just squeeze with your offhand. Thumbs on the side so you don't cut yourself, and so you have mobility and agility with your hands when you actually, we call dexterity, when you need it. All right. So that's your hands and your arms. Okay. I like to roll my shoulders in. Okay. So don't lean back and keep those shoulders away, because that's not going to help you absorb that recoil. If you roll your shoulders in, that'll help you keep that good position, and again, it'll help you absorb that recoil. It also comes in handy when you're shooting a rifle. It'll allow you to keep the rifle in the pocket of your shoulder. This is about pistols, so it's not necessary. It's something I like to do. Next up, your footing. All right, your foot position. You need to have your feet shoulder width apart. Okay, so right here, this is my feet, shoulder width apart. All right, and you want to have your knees slightly bent. Okay, so you've got 2 or 3 basic stances, all right, however you want to do it. This right here is your straight up isosceles stance. This is good for close quarters combat. This is what I recommend for the most part. All right, you can take a small step forward with your shooting side, or I should say your off side, and cant your shooting side off 45 degrees to the right. This will basically allow you to absorb recoil, stay on your feet if somebody comes in close where you can't actually effectively engage with your firearm. Alright. It does, however, reduce your accuracy with each individual shot, but it increases your rate of fire because you can absorb the recoil faster by doing this. Alright. Your other option is your weaver stance. You put your left foot forward in the case of a right-handed shooter, alright, right foot back. I'm a lefty, so I normally go the opposite side, like that. Alright, again, knees slightly bent, and you want to lean forward into it with your upper body. Okay? The weaver stance is good for long distance accuracy. It allows you to take individual accurate shots. But because of the way you end up standing with the weaver stance like this, instead of square to the target, you only absorb the recoil through one side of your body. So it hits you a little harder, takes a little longer to recover for that second shot. It's not so great for executing hammered pairs, control pairs, failure to stop drills, Mozambique drills, box drills, all that good stuff. Alright, I'll get into that in a later installment if you like what you see. Alright, so I recommend the isosceles stance, but the weaver stance does have its place. Okay, and again, the next step is leaning forward into the gun. If you lean back away from the gun, it's probably going to recoil harder. Okay, the last thing you need is for a big gun to recoil and freaking knock you on your ass. I'm sure you've seen that on YouTube all over the place, that 60 caliber rifle somebody built, that BFR, the freaking slug gun, 12 gauge shotgun, AA-12, or all sorts of stuff. If you're not qualified to shoot it, you go and try to shoot it and you look like you're in the movies and you're leaning away from the gun, it's going to knock you on your ass. I actually have seen that on the range. I've had to catch people before they fall, and I'm like, holy cow, maybe I should listen to what you're saying. Okay, So that's your stance. You got to bend at the waist and lean into it. Bend at the waist and lean into it. Ladies, I'm talking to you here. I see that a lot with the ladies, although men are also suspect, especially the smaller guys. All right, or guys who want to be gangsta. But yeah, if you're having trouble holding up the gun, whether it's a rifle, pistol, or a shotgun, if you're having trouble holding that up, don't lean back to make it more comfortable. Okay, build up those arm muscles so that when you lean forward, you can effectively engage. All right, that's pretty much all there is to it. And that right there is your good shooting stance, good grip on the gun, and good hand and arm position. Okay, it's very important to remember those things, make it muscle memory, keep those good habits in mind, because bad habits will lead to your untimely death. That's pretty much all I have for now. Leave any comments in the comment section below. Give me ideas for what you'd like to see in the future. All right, tell me what you think. Subscribe, like it if you like it. You know, I would really like some views and likes at this point. But yeah, that's pretty much it. In the future, I'm probably going to get more organized, so hopefully you'll see something better than just footage from my camera phone. All right, that's it for now. Again, this was Weapons of Mass Instruction, and I'll see you next time.